All right, so these ones are translations of the graph, sine, cosine functions. So a translation means it's moving left, right, up, down. So it's everything we did. Now we're moving up, down, left, right. So, water.
Can you fill my water while you're at it? Oh, come on.
How many waters inside your fridge?
All right, so graph of the function y equals f times the quantity of x minus d is translated horizontally compared to the graph here. Right here. If you notice, I went to the left with a plus 3. I went to the right with a minus 4. So it's going to be opposite. So if you're going to the right, it's going to be a minus. If you're going to the left, it's going to be a plus.
Left plus right.
Okay? Circular function, a horizontal translation, is called a phase shift. Okay? Phase shift, and everything, this is called your argument. So, that is my argument there. And we're going to do stuff with my argument for this. So, for this one right here.
OMG, that is so annoying. Oh my god. No,
Please turn it off. Now, step 1. Anyone? Thank you.
That's one.
Step 2.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so now, in this case right here,
Excellent.
okay, I want you to look closely at the argument. Usually, on previous problems, it's just going to be like the number in front of the x or with the x. But now we have stuff here. So now, we're going to have it in this form, okay? In this form, so it's going to look like this. I think it's an A. Can't remember the variable let's use. It's on a previous one. So it's going to be a quantity x minus, whatever value I have right there, b, something like this. So it has to be like this. So if there is a common factor, let's say for instance there is a number in front of the x, and I have this over here, I have to factor it out to be able to get this far. So, it'll make sense. Okay, so this right here, it's not going to change the period on this one. So this one, I'm looking at this information right now. Okay, just that piece right now. So it's going to be 2 pi equals x. So what is the period of this problem? 2 pi. Okay. Now, so I'm going to change up our order here. Okay, we're going to have parts, okay, and we also have phase shift. We're going to have a vertical shift and a phase shift, and that's going to go into these next things. Okay, so we're going to have step 3. It's my parts, right? Okay. Step 4 was my graph. But now I have to insert these into this, okay? So my next step 4, my new step 4 is going to be my phase shift, and step 5 will be vertical shift, and then it's going to be step 6 will now be my graph. Okay, like I said, we're just adding stuff to this. It's everything we did, and now we added steps. Do we have that down yet? I know we're writing it down because these steps are important. Yeah, we have phase shift, which is this one. That's what we were talking about a moment ago. And then vertical shift is going to be my moving it up and down. We'll talk about that at the end of this unit. All right, so parts. 0, 1, 4th, 1, half, 3, 4ths, and 1. Okay, same thing is going to happen, but we need to add some more. So now this is going to be my phase shift. Phase shift. What is my phase shift here? Okay. Look closely, my phase shift. It's going to be minus pi over 3. But if you remember, what did it do here? Yeah, negative, it goes to right, right? Okay, so now that means that it's going to be an opposite of that, isn't it? It's going to be opposite of that. So, I want you guys to see this. It's going to be opposite of that. So it's going to be... So my phase shift is going to be opposite of that, right? Positive pi over 3. Yes. Because in my formula that I showed you a couple slides ago, that one, it says minus whatever that value is, right? It's always going to be minus, so it's going to move it to the right. But it's moving it the opposite direction. So my phase shift is going to be pi over 3. Does that make sense? Okay, since the phase shift is always opposite of what that one is. So, now, this is another step I'm adding to my parts. Okay? So, for my parts here, so part of my parts, I'm going to add this right here. So it's going to be my part right here, so it's going to be 0 times my period, and then it's going to be plus my phase shift.
So pi over 3.
In this case, it will be. Did I lose anyone on that one? It's going to make more sense when you're actually doing this here later on. So right now we're just getting the foundation just for writing it all out. So in this case, okay, in this case right here, it's 0 times 2 pi is 0, right? Plus my phase shift, which is
Pi over 3.
pi over 3. So I get pi over 3 here. All right, let's do the same thing again. So now it's going to be 1/4 times period, which is 2 pi plus pi over 3. Now, I can help you guys out. So, yes.
We can put this in the calculator.
Like that word was about ready to come out of my mouth when I said I can help you out with this.
What?
You know the words that were coming out of my mouth right when you were saying that? No. I was like seriously just about ready to say that right there. Okay, so yes, great minds think alike. All right, do you have your calculator out? Do you have your calculator out?
Yes.
Okay, so now, we do not want it in terms of pi, do we?
No, so you don't put
What do we put instead of pi?
1.
1. So your calculator to do this, it would be 1/4 times 2 plus, what is it?
1 over 3.
1/3.
5 over 6.
Five over six.
5 over 6, right?
6 over 5. 2.
I'll leave the rest of the
So, Mr.
Yeah.
So only the 1 over 3, it's, we don't have like a plus 1 to 2 line.
Okay, hold on. I think, because I know what the answer's supposed to be, I'm worried that someone actually, so. Quarter times 2 pi, that's pi over 2.
Okay, I got them all.
Yeah, 5 pi over 6, there we go, yeah. I don't know why I was thinking got it wrong. So it's 5 pi over 6. Okay, so let's clear this up. Okay, I'm clearing this up right here. So which one are we talking about now? The half, right? So it's going to be 1/2 times 2 pi plus pi over 3.
Same thing.
Do the same thing, right? So I know you're doing the same thing, right? Because right now you're doing the same thing, right? Huh? Okay, let me see your calculator.
I got 4 piles.
No, it had nothing to do with that. See that where it says times? What should that be?
4 over 3.
What should that be? There you go. Okay. 4. So what's the whole thing? 4. 4 pi over 3, right? All right. Next one. Did you guys already do the next one? 11 pi over 6. What is it going to be?
Wait.
What's the last one?
7 pi over 3.
7 pi over 3?
What are you wrong?
Give me a second. Let me see. Let me see your work. Okay, because you put 1 half.
Oh.
So the main part of the parts is always going to be increasing by 1/14.
1/3. So it's actually 1/3 every time. So it's 1/3. It is 1/3.
Are these the only thing that we're adding?
That's
The
not
phase?
1/3.
The phase shift and vertical shift. It is.
No,
It
I'm
is.
talking about that.
It
first
is.
part.
It is. These are quarters.
Yeah,
These
I know,
are
that's what I was asking.
these are
That
thirds.
part is
Okay.
gonna be quarters.
Yeah, these are quarters because when we break up our graph, we have 4 distinct parts of my graph. Okay, so now, are you guys okay with that? Is that pretty easy now?
Yeah.
Because I know everyone wrote that down because you got it right now, but then someone's going to go out and get way too high and forget everything that they're doing.
Oh, can I say who that person is?
Uh-huh, no, because we're recording right there.
Oh. Can I say it quietly then? Be possible?
Listen, we all know.
The person who lost my bracelet.
Come on, give him a chance.
I was going to go to school.
Oh,
That's
literally.
I thought it was little
Okay.
too, but.
Listen please. Now, listen. Right here we have all of this. This is going to help us out. Okay, these are my new x values here. So I'm going to show you guys how to do it now. So now we need to find the output. So the y value for this. So watch this. So now it's going to be sine. And I'm plugging in now. Plugging in. So what is the first value for x? Pi over 3.
Oh my gosh.
And I put minus pi over 3. And what's that going to give me? Say 0. 0. Now, unit circle. I know everyone has that unit circle out right now, right?
Yes.
Yas.
What sign is 0? Sign is 0 is 0.
Oh, no. Wrong.
Okay, hey, I need you guys' attention up here. Are you guys okay with this?
Yeah.
It's if you follow the steps every single time with your routine, this is going to be so easy at the end because you're going to get these patterns down. You're going to do this so often that you're going to have all this. So let's do the next one. So what am I plugging in the next one? What is it? 5 pi over 6. Now, can I do that math in my calculator? Okay, just take out the pi's, right? If they both have pi, I can take out the pi. But guess what? If they don't have pi, I cannot. And we're going to come up to one of those later on.
But not today.
Not today.
Yeah, we're done for the day.
No, we're not. We still haven't finished this problem.
Oh.
And then we're done.
Okay, what do we have this? What's it going to be? Pi over 2. Pi over 2. When you do this, you get pi over 2, right?
This is 2 pi over 3.
No, it's going to be pi over 2.
And the next one's gonna
So
be
watch. It's going to be, let me see.
Oh, shit, I put 6. How I get 6? What the hell? No, you're right. You're right.
I don't know what just happened there.
Yeah, it's pi over 2. I got 6.
Pi over 2, right?
Yeah.
Now, what is sine at pi over 2? 1, right? So this is 1. Alright, next one, what am I plugging in? 4 pi over 3. It's going to be pi, right? It's going to be pi. So on my unit circle, I find,
Is that one gonna be 0?
what are you finding on your unit circle? What did I just say to find from your unit circle?
4 pi over 3.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I said, yes, I did. He's just not paying attention. Did you do this math?
No, but I was just
Please do the math. You might be okay for today because there's the pattern. There's not always going to be the same pattern. So, do the math, you get
0.
4/3 minus 1/3.
Oh.
3/3, which is just 1 what? 1 pi. Now, at pi, what is the sign? Don't be lazy. What am I plugging in next?
11 pi over 6.
Okay, learn how to do it in the calculator so you can do your fractions.
Do I have to put like trigonometry too? Like,
No, all you're doing is just plugging in.
so 11 without the pi, correct?
So 11 over 6 minus 1 over 3. 3 over 2. So it's actually going to be 3 pi over 2, right? So unit circle, where's 3 pi over 2? Okay, and the sign value?
-1.
-1. Yes?
Yep.
All right, and I'll let you guys go ahead. What is the last one?
0.
Okay, now it's time for graph. Now, on this one, listen. This one does not have a vertical shift, so I'm not addressing the vertical shift yet.
Yeah, I was about to ask for that.
Someone else not. Okay, so now we're going to graph. So you guys all have that written down, right? Okay, so this actually goes along with this. So my graph. So let's take a look. This is 0 right here. But what is my first part starting at? Pi over 3. My first part is starting at pi over 3. Hey, do you mind?
End it. I don't know. It's a step. End it.
It's the one that's
That's the
flashing.
bottom one.
No, this one's on too. They're all on.
No, my light just turns on for some
I turned
reason.
it off.
When I started it.
No, that's fine. I just answered it. It's all right. Now, listen. No, leave it. Leave it. Leave
It's
it.
gonna annoy me, mister.
No, because I just answered it. It's fine.
No, that was mine. It's gonna annoy me. A little light.
Oh my
Sorry.
god.
Yes, it is.
I'm trying to. My first part starts at
Pi over 3.
pi over 3. So now, if I'm looking on a graph, this is 0. So pi over 3 is to the right, isn't it? It's a positive pi over 3. So I'm going to put a right here, pi over 3. That's my first part. Where does this end?
7 pi over 3.
7 pi over 3. Then mark in between, right? Halfway in between, half the halves. So there's my different ones, right? So after pi over 3, there's what? 5 pi over 6. What's the next one? 11 pi over 3. Next one? No, we skipped 4 pi over 3.
Hey, we're at 4 pi over 3.
Yeah, we're skipped 4 pi over 3. Come on, you guys. 4 pi over 3
It's 11 pi over 6.
over 6. Okay. Now, we have everything set up. And I know you're paying attention because I'm getting tired of saying the same thing over again. What is the first thing I'm going to do? Or actually, what did I forget to mark? The y, right? Okay, so now, where do I go up to? To what? 1. Why 1? Amplitude, very good. 1 is here, and -1. Okay, so now my graph is all set up for us. Everything is all set up. Now I could actually just go ahead and plug in what I have. So at pi over 3, my value is at 5 pi over 6, at 4 pi over 3, 11 pi over 6, 7 pi over 3. Yeah. Okay, it's a lot of the same thing. It's the steps. It's going through, plugging it in, learning where everything's going. So I'm going to leave off here today. I think that's the one. I think this is the one anyway. Yeah, it's just that one. Okay. All right, so I'm going to give you guys, you have the remaining 10 minutes of class. I want you guys working on this, please. Start this.